Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Michele Burklund. I'm the Chief Science Officer here at Puriya, where we design plant-based remedies that give proven results. So every week we're going to be meeting here Fridays for our weekly Q&A session and focus on different conditions. And we are focusing on fungal infections this week. So I'll wait a little bit for more people to join in, and I wanted to remind you that if you do have questions, we're not going to be answering them live because we already have so many questions sent in by you guys to answer this session, but we will answer them when we choose to focus on those conditions in the future, and somebody from Puriya will always get back to you if you have questions. Go ahead and email them as well. And a quick reminder too, in the description above this video, there is a link to sign up for our newsletter. Be sure to do that. You're going to get amazing health tips, discounts on our products, tips on how to stay healthy, and also reminders for Q&A sessions like this on Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of jump in. The first question is, what essential oils are good for fungal infections? And that is a great question because there's so many essential oils out there. It's interesting, a 2006 study found 75 different essential oils to have antifungal properties. Now, the question is, there's so many great essential oils that have antifungal properties, but here at Puriya, we decided to focus on the most common fungal infections, and then focus on the essential oils that are active against those specific species of fungus. So we decided to focus on common fungus like ringworm, jock itch, and athlete's foot are actually all caused by the same fungal species, the trichophyton species. So we focused on essential oils that were active against that. Something called Puriya versicolor, otherwise known as tanning rash, is caused from Malaysia, and we focused also on antifungal remedies that focus on that specific species, as well as candida. Cutaneous candida is typically caused from Candida albicans and candida species. So we focused on essential oils for those. And there's just so many great essential oils. They're so powerful in their concentration, and how these plants and leaves have been distilled to have even stronger antimicrobial effects. So we love essential oils here, but we focused in on some key ones. For example, tea tree oil has very broad antimicrobial actions. It covers all the fungal species, the yeast species that we want to focus on for the most common fungal infections. For example, eucalyptus that we have in the Wonder Balm as well is effective against candida and the trichophyton species responsible for the most common fungal infections like athlete's foot and ringworm. Also, we have other ingredients that are great antimicrobials, antifungals in there too. Let's not forget olive oil. Olive oil is a very powerful antimicrobial. Since I lived in Greece for so many years, I'm very familiar with olive oil and the amazing antifungal and antimicrobial effects that it has. And it's used for so many different things just for that purpose as well. So let me answer the next question. I hope that answered your question of what essential oils are good for fungal infections. It depends on the fungal infection you have. But I just kind of talked about tea tree oil, eucalyptus, lavender, olive oil. Those are kind of our key ones that we use to focus in. But it always depends because each person is unique. This is a great question as well, and a very common question. Why can't I get rid of athlete's foot? Well, the answer is you can get rid of athlete's foot. The hard part is to be consistent in the application of the antifungal, and then also prevention is key because athlete's foot is extremely contagious. So even if you're using an antifungal cream, but you're engaging in the same activities, or you wear socks that are wet and sweaty and don't take them off that often, things like that, it's going to reoccur. So there's the application of the antifungal and then the preventative treatments as well. Fungus loves moist, wet environments. It loves to grow in sweat. Closed-toe shoes, when you have athlete's foot, is always that environment that creates so much heat that the fungus loves, and also low immune function. So remember to, when you're in a public place, do not go barefoot because it's highly contagious and you can pick up athlete's foot that way. Try to wear open-toed shoes and breathable materials on your feet as well. So it's a very curable condition. The key is to be consistent and to also prevent future occurrences as well. This is a great question too. Will this help with my tanning rash? And tanning rash is something called Puriya versicolor, and it occurs when there's areas, little spots on your skin that actually don't tan. And so it's hypopigmentation in those areas, and it can be quite tricky to treat. It tends to reoccur. And it also, like most fungus, loves hot, humid conditions. Excessive sweating, stress always can bring it out too, or low immune function. So our Wonder Balm, we have tea tree oil, and tea tree oil is specifically effective against Malassezia, the species that causes tanning rash. So yes, it can help, and like I said before, an athlete's foot, prevention is key too, so you don't have that reoccurrence. So once you see that the tanning rash is gone, if you're hot or you sweat, change your clothes often, wash your clothes more often, just little things like that to keep the areas dry so it doesn't reoccur. Okay, next question. Does this work on toenail fungus? And does this work, we're talking about the Wonder Balm again. Yes, it does, but toenail fungus is extremely tricky for several reasons. You have to apply the antifungal every single day. And when you see your toenail starting to heal, you need to continue applying it until it's a completely new nail and completely new toenail. And that'll ensure that the toe fungus is gone. But most people find it extremely difficult to treat because it's hard to get that antifungal activity deep in there, and it's the consistency. It's even if you see it might be a little gone, don't stop. You have to continue for months to get rid of toenail fungus. So yes, this can be effective, but you have to persevere and be consistent to really see results because how tricky it is. So I hope I answered that question. And then prevention, once again, keeping that area clean, washing your feet regularly, all these different things to prevent it to reoccur as well. Oh, I like this question a lot. Are there any holistic methods to help with my fungal infection? Yes, so many. As a naturopathic doctor, this is one of my favorite topics, is how else can we help the fungal infection besides applying the topical? And here at Puriya, we like to address all aspects. We offer a great antifungal cream, but there's so much more that goes into fungal care. So going from the inside out, if we want to talk about foods, there's a lot of great antifungal foods. One of my all-time favorites is raw garlic. And that might be difficult for some of you. Cooked garlic just does not have the potency. The best form for the antifungal activity is raw garlic. Even sprinkling on like a little at the end right before you're ready to eat a meal, it has powerful antifungal properties. So while you're focusing on food, while you're trying to heal from this fungal infection, incorporate more raw garlic into your diet. Also, to help build the immune function, because a lot of people with low immunity are more susceptible to fungal infections too, is to support the immune function. And I'm a big fan of balancing the gut flora. So many studies have shown a direct relationship between the immune health and the diversity of the gut flora. So I would also advise you to eat fermented foods and prebiotics to help balance that and replenish the gut flora as well. Another holistic perspective would be to focus on your lifestyle practices, and I've talked about this a lot, but wearing natural fibers instead of synthetic fibers or polyester that tends to hold moisture in and not let your skin breathe. Wear natural fibers like cotton, bamboo, hemp, shower often. If you are in lots of moist environments, just make sure to wash often, keep your body dry, and avoid going into public places, especially barefoot as well. So we talked a little bit about raw garlic, supporting your gut microbiome, and lifestyle practices to focus on. And there's so many great foods you can eat, increasing your fruits and vegetables, focusing on your immune support. We could go on for hours, but I just wanted to talk about if you had to take a couple things home with you today: raw garlic, gut flora, rebalancing, and then preventative measures as well. The next question is a great question. It's, can my ringworm spread from one body part to another? And yes, it can. Ringworm can easily spread from one body part to another, especially if you itch one area and then touch another area of your skin. That can be an issue. It can also be transferred from animals to humans. So if your pet has ringworm, that can easily be transferred to you as well. So take a look at your pet, make sure they don't have ringworm, and wash your hands thoroughly afterwards if you think they might, because that can be transferred to you as well. And it can, if you use the same towel several days in a row, you can transfer it to different areas of your body, your bedding, clothing, so many things. So yes, it can definitely spread from one body part to another. And so it's all about keeping things clean, not using the same towels on a regular basis, not sharing towels either or clothing, especially if you think somebody might have ringworm, because it can spread very quickly. Okay, the next question is, are there triggers that make my athlete's foot worse? Well, we've gone over a lot of these today. We've gone over hot, wet, moist environments, closed-toed shoes, not going barefoot, especially in public places. But I also want to talk about stress. Stress can make any type of fungal infection dramatically worse because it drops your immune system. Lack of sleep, high cortisol, all these different things. So I highly recommend finding different activities to have an internal balance as well, because that can greatly affect the fungal infection and make it quite a bit worse. Also with foods, highly processed foods can cause inflammation, can make your immune system more prone to get different things like this. So food, eating a diet rich in nutrients, raw garlic, like I spoke about before, great fermented foods, prebiotic foods, all of these great things can help. But yes, triggers, stress, smoking, processed food, moist, wet environments, all of those things can definitely make athletes' foot worse. Okay, time for one last question. Can I use this on my underarm candidiasis? So yes, Wonder Balm is effective against many Candida species. What I would advise you to do is, that area can be a little sensitive, and whatever product you use, always do two different things. First, read all the ingredients and make sure that you don't have any allergic reactions or sensitivities. Number two, do a little patch test on your skin in a certain area before you do a full application. And wait a little bit to see if you do have a sensitivity. So both of those things are very important. And when you do apply it, if you have not seen results, especially in even a month or longer, here at Puriya we have a 180-day money-back guarantee. no questions asked. So what that means is we understand that each person is individual, and maybe it might not work for you, or maybe you're sensitive against a certain ingredient inside our product. So whatever the reason, if it does not work for you, you are more than welcome to take it back, no questions asked. And our entire goal is to just help you on your journey to heal, and that's why I'm here too every week, is to answer your questions. So yes, it can work, but because that area can be a little more sensitive, I always recommend patch testing first. So we're coming to a close today, but we will feel free first to put any of your questions or comments below. I will personally look at them, and if it's great for another session of anti-fungal, or if you have another question about a completely different topic, put it below and we'll consider it for different conditions and questions we have in the future. So be sure to sign up for our newsletter. Above in the description there's a link, and you can follow us so you can get notified if you just happen to forget during the week that we will be here every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to have some great interviews coming up too. So lots of different ones on lots of different health subjects. And so if you sign up for our newsletter, you'll always be in the know and find out who we're interviewing and when we're doing it. So I'm so glad all of you guys joined me today, or maybe you caught me on the replay. But I will be here again next week, so I will see you then. Take care.